Hello there, it's Jan here from JB Crafts. Thank you for joining me today. I'm back today with a very special project actually. This one's for my husband's birthday. So it's a family birthday card. So yeah, there's a lot of detail on this. I wouldn't normally go to so much detail on a card. And certainly for one that I wanted to mail, this has actually got quite a lot going on. It's quite a decent weight. Beautiful collage design there. Papers, to do the matte layers at the back, and then all the different little bits of ephemera I've made all these from stamps and dies and bits of scrap that I've got in my stash. There's some metal embellishments on there, and this one just opens up. It is technically a Z fold. You can see that Z there, and it opens up. And again, I've got a bit of embossed detail on the inside here just because I wanted to put something on the panel there. Got the clock faces on, which links to the front, and then the lovely happy birthday in there. And then I think I'm going to put a mat on the back here for the message. So this is what we're going to make today. As I say, I'll show you all the products. A lot of this is dug out of my stash, you know, for the tag dies, for the Polaroid die, for the little postage stamp, the stars. I've made a lot of this myself, and I'll show you the product as we go along. And then, as I say, just pulling scraps out of the stash. I knew what colour theme I wanted to do, and yeah, so let me show you how we made it. Okie dokie, so I'm going to start with the card blank. And I've got some mats and layers ready done for this because I wanted to focus on that lovely collaged front focal point for it. So I've made my own card blank out of some craft card, and I've cut it to 7 inches square, and I've created a fold back element. So I've had to use a separate piece because I can't get 7 by 7 inch out of my A4. So I cut the first piece was let's have a little look. We've got 10 1/4 inches. Is that right? 10 1/4. Let me have a look. 10 3/8, I think it is there. 10 3/8 inches, and then it's 7 inches tall. And then I've just took that halfway point at 3.5 inches. I've cut an extra 1/2 inch on there to make a glue tab and popped it together. I hope that makes sense. It's just literally glued down this side to create that fold back element. And then we're actually going to put the main piece, the front piece. This is a piece of 5 by 5, and this is going to stick. So this is going to be the card itself, and it will open like so. Okie dokes. So as I say, I've got mats and layers ready. I've already popped a piece on this inside. I don't always decorate this panel on a card, but because this one was for my husband's birthday, I thought we'll go, you know, a little bit special. And rather than use the pattern paper that I'm going to use for the mat and layer, I've just used a piece of the craft card, passed it through an embossing folder there, just with the clocks on to keep the theme, and then add a little bit of my vintage photo ink just to highlight those clock faces on there. So that's that inside panel, which you won't actually see until you open the card. And then for the back of here, I've created a large panel to go in the back here like so, and done a couple of things to it already because I wanted, as I say, to concentrate on that collage piece for the front. So this is a piece of 6 3/4 inch square of the solid cardstock in the teal. Taken the centre out of it because I also wanted some to cut, you know, other pieces out of. And this one is going to go in here like so. And then my pattern piece is 6.5 inches square. Okay, just realising that I've actually got a piece missing, but not to worry, we'll sort that out. So yeah, so 6 3/4 for the mat layer, 6.5 inches, and this is just taken from one of my Tim Holtz paper pads. And then I've added some little elements on the side here. These are just stickers that I've popped on the side of it just to add a bit of interest. And then I've gone round it with my watercolour crayon in ground espresso, I think it is. Just use the water brush to soften it so that it's given like a little bit of shadow. I wanted it to look as if it was torn and there was something popping out from underneath. So that one's going to go in the back there. I'm actually going to stick that one in with my all-purpose glue, and then these can be drying while we work on that front panel. Okay, so just round the edge there. Nobody's going to know that that centre's missing out of here. Okay, and then that one's just going to stick flat on the back, and there's just a tiny border all the way around, so I can wriggle that one into place until I've got the same border all the way around the card blank. Give that a good press down, leave that one to dry, and then the front panel, I've got a different paper for the front. I've gone for a stripy one from the same paper pad, and you're pretty sure in the knowledge that if you've taken papers from the same pad, they're all going to work together, and that's where my colour scheme came from. I've gone with a very neutral tone and then introduced some sort of blues and teals in there. So this one is a 6 3/4 inch tall, the same as this one, by 3 1/4 inches wide. So my pattern paper will be 6 1/2 by 3 inches, and that one's going to stick on that front panel, and we can get that one put down as well. There we go. So same glue, whenever it's cardstock and paper, my glue of choice, and that one's going to go on here, and again just wriggle it into place so that it's lined up with that piece on the back here. So same border all the way around, and then I'm just going to put the block on there as always so that everything dries nice and flat, and we'll pop that over to one side while we do some work on the panel. So this is going to be the panel that we're going to stick to the front. As I say, this measures 5 by 5 inches. Got some tape on it ready to stick it when we've finished, and then I've made a mat and layer to go on top of this like so. This is going to be my platform for all the collage. So I've done a couple of things to this already. My piece is 4 3/4 inch square, and I've got some foam tape on the back just to lift it slightly. It's only 1mm foam tape to lift it from the back panel here. My piece of paper will therefore be 4 1/2 inches square, and then I've just used some of my washi tape again just to add. Again, it's only neutral because it's all background in the back of it there, and then I've gone round the edge again with I went round all the papers with either the vintage photo, or I chose a couple of oxides that went with the colour scheme. So I've got Uncharted Mariner and Ground Espresso, which I've done some inking and some stamping with on the ephemera, which I'll show you in a second. So all the colour has come from those two pieces. So this one is just going to sit on here, but I want to do shall I do the decoration first? No, I think I'm going to stick it on so that I know what the parameter of the piece is. So again, we just need to take the liner off here, and this is my Sticks 2 adhesive, and as I say, it's just the 1mm. I normally only buy the 1mm rolls because if you want it deeper than that, you can just stick a couple of layers together. So I don't usually buy all the different depths of tape in there like so. And then this one, because it's going on to the craft card, which is quite a fibrous cardstock and quite thirsty, I'm just going to put a little bit of the glue over the top. So this will help position it before that tape grabs, and the glue will seep into the fibres of this card, and I know that it's going to stay in place where I've put it. So that one's going to go on there like so, and we'll just press that into place and let that glue soak in for a second, and we'll start working on the ephemera that built up the collage. Okie dokie, so let's have a look in my little tub of tricks and see what we've got to work with. So we've got several things in here, and I've made all of these myself. I'll show you the products wherever I can. I've made all these just with die cuts and stamps and things like that. So my favourite tag set, which you've seen me use often, this is a Creative Expressions tag set called Tattered Tags. It's been out a while now. I've had this quite a long time, but I love the slightly torn edge on them. And I've used that second size to create my tag, but I've also cut the banner in the bottom of it because I wanted that little bit of extra detail in there. And I've used the circle ring enforcer, cut that out of craft card, popped a bit of twine in, which may be a little bit long yet, but we'll check that when we get to it. So this is going to be one of the main pieces on the top of here, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more foam tape to this. I haven't put any tape on the back. I thought I'd decide as I went along what we were going to do with the back of it. So I'm just going to pop a couple of bits so that I can tuck things underneath. One of the biggest tips I can give you with collage items is not to go right to the edge of your pieces. Normally I would put this nearer the edge to make sure it's secure, but I want to be able to slot bits underneath here. So that's going to be one of the main focal points, and then I'll show you all my stamp sets because there's bits from all of them here. I reach for these a lot when I'm doing this kind of thing. I've got lots and lots of different sort of tickety type things. I've used the bingo card off here. That's actually in the back of my little window. The window is a die out of my stash, so I've got the little Polaroid die here. So I've used that to create this couple of layers of craft card. Then I've stamped out the bingo ticket in the ground espresso, trimmed it to size and popped it behind, and then I've got a couple of little bits of stickers. I have a lot of these in my stash, and these were the leftover pieces. I just pulled out things that I thought would be suitable. So anything that you've got like this, these are actually stickers that I just buy in bulk. This was the top and bottom of the bingo card, which I haven't actually used but will keep for future things. I've got one of the tickets that I've just cut from pattern paper, and then I'll show you I'll show you that one now. I've stamped on here using one of the stamps and the little postage one, so it's gone from just being a plain piece of paper to an actual ticket there, and this one's a spare one. And then I'd cut a piece of this turquoise out as a potential background, but I haven't actually used that one. So they'll all go back in the bit box. I've got a nice little box that I keep all those in, ready for if I want to use them again. So we've got our tag. We have got our little Polaroid here. And like I said, these are just made from elements. I've got the bingo ticket on that one. I've got loads. I have a thing about tickets. Loads and loads of them. This one is off here, so that's just been stamped on some pattern paper, and then I've trimmed that to the size that I want it, and that was done in the Uncharted Mariner oxide ink. Did I use anything? I've got the little postage mark here. That's what I created. You can see a bit of it on here. You can see it on this one, and then I don't think I used that set. I have used these in the past. Haven't used that one this time, and I don't think I used these either today. So yeah, the bulk of it was from those first two sets there. Okay, and then I also have a couple more dies. I've shown you the ticket die. I've created the postage edge. I've just cut again a piece of pattern paper, inked it with the ink, and put one of those stickers over it so that it looks as if it's torn. We're going to use that in the background. This one is my photo strip. I've just chopped the little camera off the top. That's been cut in brown cardstock. We're going to use that. What else have we got? Let's have a little look. We'll put those back. I've used the smaller one of those tags. So this is the second to the smallest, to create a second tag. And again, you can see elements of that stamping on there from the tickets. I've put a little eyelet. This one's going to go this way across here like so. So we're going to need to put a little bit of foam under the edge of that one when we're ready. And then I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. I've got a couple of metal pieces, and again, I'm not sure what we're going to use yet. I've got the little metal clock there because I've got a bit of a time theme going on it. Little metal clip, little office clip there. These are all out of my stash. This one's actually a sticker that I've mounted onto some cardstock, and somewhere in there I've got a set of metal clock hands which I'm going to stick over the top. You can still see one of them in the background, but I think that can be the second hand in my world there. So we're going to pop those together. I've just used basic star dies to create some different sizes of stars. This one's layered up. These are just still flat, and then I've got one that looks like a little button. It's got some holes in the front, and I've just threaded some of the twine through there. So yeah, just sat and played, had a couple of hours, just sat playing with all the ephemera. These are what was left. This is the other row from the bingo ticket that I cut down, so we're going to use those pieces as well. I've got another little metal piece, a little heart in there, and then I've got a sentiment that we're going to put on the front. It says, "Your age to perfection," perfect for him. Another little snippet of clock there. So yeah, all these little pieces that I've just gathered together, and then I'll show you how we're going to put these on the card. So what I did was have a play around with it and look at what I wanted to do first. So I want some pieces in the background. So this one is actually, this is what I meant about not putting the tape all the way to the edge. So some of these I can stick to the background, and I'm just going to use that embellishment glue. In fact, I might even be, and what I might do is cut that in half, because I don't need the whole thing. And again, you know, all these little bits go back in the bit box, and they can be used on another project. So again, I'm going to pop glue on the back of this one, and I'm using the embellishment glue mainly for this sort of thing. And I want to pop this one on there, and then the tag is just going to sort of start to come over the edge of that one, and then this piece is going to go under the other side here to create a, you know, a bit of collage in the background. So we're going to use that one pretty much, I think, yeah, in its entirety. Excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. Am I? I don't know, maybe not. Still trying to get rid of this awful congestion that I've had ever since Christmas. I can't shift it. I don't feel poorly anymore, but I can't shift the congestion at all. So apologies for the sniffling. It's driving me crazy. So that's that one down there. I'm going to have this one in the middle like so. And then this one's going to go in that edge as well, so that this one's poking out from the side. But we're going to have this tag, yeah, so I want that to break that one, or do I want it to be a bit higher up? Ooh, now then. Yeah, I think I'm going to go a little bit higher up and settle that one so that we can see that round the other side of the tag. So what I'll do is pop a bit of tape under the end of that tag so that we know what we're working with. So I'm going to chop a little bit off my roll there, because I only need it to go. So if I get that one in position, I only need it to go on that top edge there. And then a piece at that side again, not too close to the edge, so that if I do want to pop anything underneath there, I can. So that one's going to sit on there. So let's have a look at the positioning. Yeah, I think I prefer most of that one showing higher up. So again, a little bit of the embellishment glue. Hold that one in position. And then this one can just slot under the edge there. Try and keeping it straight for now. My apologies today. My nose has suddenly decided to start running now. It decided not to sneeze. There we go. Give it a quick mop up. Yep, so that one's going to go down there like that. And then I think we're about ready for the tag to pop on there next. I'm going to pop the film strip at an angle this way, and then this one's going to come the other way. So everything's going to be sort of twisted and different angles on here so that there's lots of interest. So yeah, I think we'll get the tag stuck down now. So take the backer off here. And you know, I've done collage before on the channel, and it's usually received pretty well. It's a nice one to do, just something a bit different. And as I say, it's great for using up scraps of paper that you might have in your stash. If you don't have all the stamps with the tickets and things on, you can often download free images from the internet, which would work for all these little extra bits, you know. So whatever you've got, again, I've just stamped a little bit on the edge of the tag because there's going to be bits of that showing. And then again, just a little bit of glue because this is going to be held down with the other embellishment. So I'm just going to put a little bit around the edges there. This is why I like the fine tip applicator. Oh dear, I feel really bad for sniffling away now. And then this one's going to go sort of at an angle like that. And whenever it's something that size, I tend to bring in my wax paper there just to press it down. And then if there's any glue squidges out, the wax paper grabs it instead of my fingers. There we go. And then this one's going to come across at an angle like so. Now then, I've got that, I can feel that that's a little bit too deep, so I'm just going to snip a bit off the edge of the tape there because it was just a little bit too far. It was blocking this from going where I wanted it to go. That's better. So are we going to put that one on? I think we're going to put that one on next. So again, we'll take off the release paper. And I'm going to put a bit of glue on this end because this is going to attach to the other tag. And then we're just going to pop that one at an angle. That's a right angle against that one. And put that one like so. And then this one's going to come at an angle the other way. So I've got little bits of all the other ephemera showing. I've got a bit of the photo strip here, a bit at the bottom. And again, I'm going to need to put, I think I'm going to put, I'm getting obsessed with my tape now, so we'll just grab a little bit more. I think it needs it in places, but not in others. So along that top edge, I think we definitely need some of the tape. I may not need it everywhere. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then the spare, I tend to just put on my release paper from my foam pads, and then I can just grab it if I need it. So I think that's probably enough to hold it upright so that it doesn't look wobbly and wonky. And again, we'll take that release paper off the back. I'm going to put a bit of the glue again on this bottom corner because this is all going to be attached to the tag now. And then we'll put that one at a slight angle so that there's bits of the other elements showing as well. Right, so what else have we got then? Let's have a look. Let's get all these bits and pieces out. The clock's going to be one of the main focal points. I've got the sentiment, I've got my stars, I've got the extra little pieces of bingo tickets. That was just a random piece that I found somewhere that I thought might work nicely. So I have all those out round me, and then I can work out where we're going to pop everything. I probably will end up trimming the tails on here, or if there's enough I might pop a bow in there yet, I'm not sure. So this bit was going to tuck right under the edge of here like so. So that bit can go underneath. So this is the link to just a more of a, you know, a mass. It's not significant in any way other than that time is passing us by. I must admit, we're both getting older. But yeah, it was just, you know, time's a good one for a masculine theme, I must admit. And then we're going to go with, I've stuck that down now. So I'm going to snip that in half because I just wanted one of those showing. You know, and you think, oh, we're messing with all these little bits, Jan, but I love this kind of crafting. I love making the embellishments. And if that's something you'd like to see more of, let me know. You know, sort of making these little pieces of ephemera or little clusters that you could use on your designs. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. I don't mind having a play. That one I'm going to stick down that edge just to balance it out. yeah, sometimes I'll just come in here and sort of sit and have a look through the scrap box and just make little bits of ephemera like this, and then pop it all in a plastic wallet so that I've got it ready. So that one's just going to pop out from down there like so. So you can see how we're building up that design now. That one's gone a little bit wonky. There we go. That's balancing this one out. I've got the couple of lighter tone ones balancing each other out. My clock is going to be the focal point, pretty much in the centre of the design, of the whole design. So I'm going to keep that as a placeholder for the time being. I had the metal clock there. I don't know whether I can fit that underneath now. I was going to slot that under there, but I've used the tape now. It might do. We'll see. I definitely want one of those up there, and I do need a little tiny bit of that. This is where the scrap pieces come in. So under there, I'm going to put that at the top, just there. Take the liner off, and then add a bit of glue again at the bottom, and then this one is going to go on the top there. So again, we've got that sort of line coming this way. This one I think I'm going to tuck in the back like so. So I'm going to cut a little piece off here because I don't need all of that. So I just take a piece off it, and again I can then pop that. That's better. I don't want to cover up too much of the tag there. So again, if it's going flat, I'm using the embellishment glue. If it's been built up, I've got a little bit of tape there. So again, it just allows you to slide things under the edge, which is why I'd put that tape not right at the edge at the beginning. This one's going to come on here like so. So again, I think we can get that one. Now this has got some tape just securing the twine at the back. So if I take that off, that gives me an extra bit of sticky, and then again, a bit of the embellishment glue just for good luck. And then this one's got threaded through. It's just meant to look like a little button. So we'll go with that on there. Hold that down for a second. What else have we got? I'm going to use that little tiny circle. I'm not quite sure where that bit came from. It was on the desk and I thought, oh, do you know, it's brown. It fits the theme. And I'm just going to tuck that in again. I'm going to pop it sort of in there. No, I'm not going to pop it in there. That's obscuring my... I might pop it in that side there, just so that it's popping out of the edge, that little bit peeping. And then I've got my heart is going to go on here. My sentiment, I think I'm going to pop either at the top or at the bottom. I'm not sure yet with that one. And then we've got a couple of extra stars. So I'm going to use the, I think one of them needs to come in there because we've got one in the centre there. So we'll make that sort of triangle with those. And then I think that's meant to come down at the bottom there. I don't think it looks right at the top. So we'll put some glue under here for that one to stick to. And then we'll do the same at the bottom here for that one. So we've created that triangle with those stars. I've got the set of 3 here. So it's all happening nicely. I'm going to pop my clock down reasonably flat, I think, because we've got a lot of dimension going on underneath there. So making sure that's got the 12 at the top, like so. I'm not going to use the other edge of the star, I don't think. I think we've got enough going on there. Part of this is knowing when to stop, I must admit. And then I'm going to use a glue dot, I think, for my little hands. So I'm just going to take a glue dot and roll it up into a little ball, I think. and pop that in the centre there. And that should be enough to pop the hands on with, I think, like so. Yeah, that works fine. And then I'm going to put a gem over the centre of there. And then I think we need a little tiny bit of tape under here to support this on that edge. So turn it over. I'd actually put red line tape on there. So I'll take the liner off there. And I am just going to have to blow my nose again, guys. I am really sorry today. I don't know. I just hope the cold's not coming back again. Yeah, we'll take the liner off here, and then I'm going to pop a little bit of foam tape as well, just to support it. It's been very friendly. So yeah, if you pop it upside down where you want it to go, you can see how much of that we need then. And I think that's probably just about the right length there for what we need. So I'm going to put that to one end there. That was perfect. Take the liner off. And then again, because there is so much going on, I am just going to add a bit of that wet glue as well. And that just gives me time to get everything in position. Now, we didn't actually stick that piece in, did we? It's wedged in there really well, but I'm just going to pop a bit of the embellishment glue. You see, remember I said that this will stick all sorts of mediums other than cardstock, and the metal being one of them. So let's just see if we can get that back under the edge of there without creating too much mess. The glue does dry clear, fortunately, because I've got it everywhere. There we go. And then this one's just going to go right across the bottom there. And I think that's perfect, like so. We could put this on the top if we wish. Maybe, we'll see. And then last of all, I've got that little metal embellishment, which again, I'm going to use that same glue for, and just pop that one on there. And you might think, oh my goodness, Jan, you've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at it, which I probably have, but I do like how these look. And that's why I kept the matte layers on the back of the card relatively simple. I didn't want to go berserk with it. So all that will set nicely. And then have we got enough left to do a bow on here? Let's have a little look. I think that would look nice with a bow on the top there. Sometimes easier to do once you've got everything in place because you can work out the size. I think that's perfect. I'm just going to trim a little bit off that side. Perfect. I'm going to leave that one as it is. I don't particularly want that one in a bow. And we've got our collage going on there. Okay, so let's move some of these things off here and bring the card back in, because that should be more than dry now. And then this one is just going to go on the front like so and be the main feature. Just before I adhere that, on the inside I've used my really nice happy birthday die, and I've cut it out of some of the pattern paper. I've got all sorts of oddments of paper. You can see where I've cut the blue out there, some craft card, I've got some extra of the turquoise, that was what we did the tickets out of, background paper. So yeah, just pulled out anything that I thought was suitable, and I've cut one layer out of the pattern paper, one layer out of the blue, and done the little drop shadow. And then I've gone round it with my applicator again for the vintage photo ink, just to tie it all in with the rest of the design. So all we need to do then is pop some dabs of glue on there. You can use your double-sided adhesive on there if you wish. I always forget. I always think it's a great idea when I remember it, and then forget to do it when I'm talking, when I'm doing the actual crafting. But yeah, you only need this in places, making sure that all the bits are anchored. And then again, when I'm doing anything like this, I usually just blot off any of the excess there so that it's not going to squidge out. And I want this to go right in the centre so that when it's closed and that centre piece is over the top, this will be hidden away inside. And then this is a great way of getting nice even pressure over everything. Use that block. I am really sorry about all the snuffling there today. It's driving me mad, so it must be getting on your nerves. And that one's going to go inside. And then when we pop this one on the front, it's going to cover that one. So I'd put on the back of here already a couple of pieces of my red line tape, just remembering to do this on one side because the other side is going to sort of float over the card design. Pop those in the waste, and I think that should be more than enough to hold this in place. So what I want to do now is eyeball all the way around here and try and get this as centered as I can. So I want about the same border all the way around. That doesn't look too bad. I think we'll go with that. And then when I'm happy, get that pressed down. And I can give it a press from underneath there. It's not all of it's dry yet, but you can see that we've got that in place. And then the only thing that I'm going to finish off with are some gems. Now I've got my glitzy ones, but I'm not sure whether they're the right look. I don't have anything sparkly on there, so I don't know whether the sparkly ones are the right colour. I have some blue, but they're a very pale blue. So this is where we go rummaging through the drawer to see what we've got in there that suits the theme. Let's have a look. I've got so many gems. I've got a whole drawer full of gems, and it's like sometimes it's like less is more because I end up sort of rummaging through everything and thinking, right, what am I going to use? I think they're probably quite a good match. So let's just pop those out of there. And yeah, they are quite bright, but I think it's either that or brown. And brown's not something I've got a lot of, I don't think. I think that, would the brown be better? Let's see if we've got any brown ones. As I say, I've got a whole drawer full. You'd think that there'd be something suitable in there for what we're looking for. We'll just have a quick rummage through the drawer and see what we've got. I thought I did have some brown, but they're eluding me at the minute. I'll try those ones. Again, these are some that I've had a long time. These are from Hobby House. When I was working at the Crafters Companion store, we used to stock Hobby House. That's got some brown in there, so I might use some of those darker brown ones, I think. And then that's the little version of the same colour family. A little bow in there as well. Was that there for a reason, one asks? Oh, this is where I'm like, step away from the card, Jan. You know, it's got enough going on. I don't really think... No, I don't think we need the bow. I don't think it was there for a reason. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go for a couple of the larger ones on this top corner here, just as a, you know, sort of a finishing touch on the top there. So this larger set, I'm going to put these up at the top, and I think the brown is going to tie in those extra bits of darker element. We've got enough of the teal colour going on, so we'll have a couple of those up there, and I might put a couple down at the bottom here because it's a special one. It's like, you know what I'm like with the gems, I tend to go mad with them at the best of times, but this is one that's actually going to be on display in the house when it's being given to my hubby. So we'll have two there to match. So we've got the two at the top, two at the bottom, and then I'm just going to scatter one or two of them, I think, in and around the actual collage. So I've got different sizes. So we'll go with a brown one, a larger one in the middle, and then scatter it up to 3 at that side. One here. And one down there. I usually work with an odd number, so the largest one's going to go in the middle. like so. Then I've got two smaller ones which are going to go either side, and then we're going to go to those little tiny ones to create our cluster there. And I have usually done this, I must admit, so you've seen the thinking process behind what's going on there. So let's move all those out of the way. We didn't use the teal ones after all. Pop those out of the way. And I think that's probably enough going on. It's like, step away from it, Jan. You know, it's got everything on there but the kitchen sink. But as I say, it's a special design. It's for my hubby's birthday. And it's got quite a bit of weight to it as well. So I would only be doing something like this, you know, for a family member, or, you know, one that you would know that you was going to hand deliver. And we've got that detail in there. So I can either write over the top of this. I've got some coloured pens, so I could write over the top of it. What I might do is make another mat the same size as the front and pop it on the back. So that we've got a nice place to write a message in the back there. So I'll show you in the photo. I might be able to show it in the photo at the end, but if not, as I say, I'm going to create that 5-inch square again in the craft card, and then probably put a neutral colour over the top of it to write a message on the back. I think that's probably the best place, otherwise it's going to get a bit busy in there. So that's my card for today for our masculine makes file, and it's collaged within an inch of its life. Nice masculine theme with the time, you know, the stars. I have got a little bit of butterfly in there, but it's not obvious. It's just linking that background to these colours in the front again. The metal pieces on it, you know, you've got a touch of mixed media going on there. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I know the last one I did like this, you really sort of like. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this sort of collage. Or as I say, I sometimes just sit and make little clusters that I can then use on cards in future. That kind of thing interests you, let me know down in the comments. And please consider giving it a like if you've enjoyed the tutorial. Subscribe if you haven't joined the channel already, and I'll be back very soon with another tutorial. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye for now.